It's 6 p.m. This is SNN, the Suncoast News Network, your local news leader.
Hello everyone, I'm Eric Wilson. Thanks for joining us here on the SNN Evening Edition. Don Brennan is off this week. Let's get right to your top stories. An early morning crash in Sarasota kills an 18-year-old woman and left a 16-year-old girl fighting for her life. The Florida Highway Patrol reports the crash took place at Beneva Road south of White Sulphur Place around 1:22 a.m. The 18-year-old driver lost control, crossed the median, and struck a tree. The young girl died at the scene. The 16-year-old passenger was taken to the hospital and is in serious condition.
We have affected two families for the rest of their lives. You have one family that is mourning the loss of a daughter. You have another family that's grateful their daughter is still alive. And we can only hope that an event like this can be a learning experience for other student drivers.
Florida Highway Patrol is investigating. Two suspects wearing ski masks led Sarasota police to a high-speed chase and ended up crashing through a home. SNN's Brianna Boskert has the latest.
Cop came out of the car quick with the gun pulled, and he ran over toward the car and just asked us to leave so we wouldn't be in their way.
Neighbors in the north end of Pinecraft were shocked to hear so many sirens Tuesday afternoon.
We came over here to look and see what was going on. As soon as we saw the police getting out there, like he ran and they had the guns and were looking for him, we took off and ran back and locked doors.
Sarasota police officers received a tip that two people wearing ski masks were driving recklessly near 23rd Street and Osprey Ave.
Sarasota police officers then, a short time later, spotted that green Kia Soul in the area of Fruitville and Beneva, not far from this location where we are at. The vehicle was heading east, though. Now, before Sarasota police officers could even stop the vehicle exited city limits and entered the county limits.
That's when the Kia began speeding through Pinecraft before crashing into a home.
And then he tried to turn on Hacienda and missed the turn going too fast, and we saw him go between two buildings, and he went airborne, and then that's the last we seen of him until he crashed, and then he fled on foot.
I have grandchildren that live at my house. We have elderly people that live on this street. It could have been very dangerous.
Thankfully, no one was hurt, and both suspects are in custody.
There's always people around here on the bicycles or walking, so we were very fortunate that nobody got hurt.
The suspects, a 15 and 16-year-old, are facing multiple charges, including grand theft of a motor vehicle and obstruction without violence. Reporting in Sarasota County, Brianna Boskert, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
The suspects were initially spotted driving recklessly only blocks away from the scene of Sunday night's shooting on Maple Avenue. Police say they are unaware of a connection between the two incidents at this time. Broadway actors across the nation may be poised to strike, and the effects are being felt here on the Suncoast. According to a press release, stage managers and actors alike will be handing ticket holders for Mean Girls leaflets warning of the possibility of a strike of Broadway shows on tour by the Actors Equity Association. Mean Girls is currently at the Van Wezel. Union members are concerned over per diems not covering the rising cost of food and housing while on the road, as well as adequate job coverage for stage managers and actors who may need to call out while on the road. Actors and stage managers on touring Broadway productions have been working without a new contract since February 5th. Their last contract was negotiated in 2019. The Florida Highway Patrol is investigating a crash that involved a school bus carrying 34 students in Manatee County after a car failed to stop at a red light. The bus was making a left turn at the intersection of 63rd Avenue East and 9th Street East Monday when an SUV traveling on 63rd Avenue East failed to stop at a red light. The SUV's left side hit the front of the bus, and both vehicles did in fact come to a stop. There were no reported injuries, and the investigation is ongoing, according to FHP. All right, Justin Mosley with your Weather Authority forecast. Justin, how are we looking out there this evening?
Looking pretty good. It is on the windy side of things. Almost said Don. It's Eric over there today. Thank goodness we have Eric here filling in. We enjoy having you there, Eric. Winds are out of the east and they're pretty gusty. You can see you're gusting up to 30 miles an hour in Sarasota, 35 down in Punta Gorda, and we have comfortable readings, upper 70s and lower 80s, so not doing too bad across the viewing area right now. But looking at the radar, you can see the beam going around searching. We're dry over land, but we're just starting to pick up a few showers out over the Gulf of Mexico, and they will fall apart later tonight, but you can see all the cloud cover working its way in from the west. This is upper level moisture, and you need that moisture throughout the column of the atmosphere to call for rain. So we do see that in the picture here for tomorrow. Waves of moisture. It will not be a washout all day long. I want to drive that point home, but when the rain does occur, it will be heavy in nature, and we're going to keep that going into Thursday as well. All right, we'll come back, update our 7-day forecast, discuss what to expect as we head towards the weekend and beyond in just a few minutes. Eric?
Well, thank you, Justin. I know Don and I look alike. It's the hair. It's okay. Thank you so much. We have an update tonight on the latest mass shooting in our country. Investigators called the massacre that left 5 dead and 8 wounded Monday morning in Louisville a targeted attack. A 25-year-old carrying an assault-style rifle opening fire on his co-workers inside a downtown bank. Jay Gray is live from the scene with the very latest.
Images of horror and heroism. Officers rushing in to confront a mass shooter just minutes after he opened fire inside the Old National Bank in downtown Louisville.
They stopped the threat so other lives could be saved.
Police confirmed the 25-year-old shooter was a current employee at the bank, armed with an AR-15 rifle legally purchased just last week, and investigators say he was live streaming the massacre online. Now, a day after the attack, 5 dead, 8 injured, 2, including a police officer, still in critical condition. Louisville becomes the latest city caught in the vicious and sadly familiar cycle of mass shootings in America. A spray of bullets followed by a string of questions, including how and why.
There's only so many times you can walk into a room and tell someone they're not coming home tomorrow.
Raw emotion and grief.
We are despondent.
Quickly giving way to anger and demands for change.
Put those policies in place that put people first. People over guns, kids over guns, public safety over guns.
Words echoed in some form after more than 140 mass shootings this year alone. Words, to this point, many say, without any real action, hollow and empty, like the hearts of those now struggling after the latest attack. Jay Gray, NBC News, Louisville.
A citywide vigil is scheduled for tomorrow night, and dozens of counselors will be there and in several assistance centers across the area to help anyone dealing with trauma in the wake of this shooting. Not only is April Parkinson's Awareness Month, but today is World Parkinson's Day. Some of the many symptoms of Parkinson's are tremors, muscle stiffness, loss of balance, and difficulty walking. Every patient has a different experience with the disease. John Cullen from Sanibel not only has Parkinson's, but is also a competitive weightlifter.
But as I started to lift heavy, I noticed that there was some slowing down of the disease, and some days actually felt like it was reversing it.
This was part 1 of our Parkinson's Awareness series. For more information, tune in every night at 5 and 5:30. The Elizabeth Moore Sarasota Open Tennis Tournament returns to Payne Park this week. The tournament has been hosted in Sarasota since 2009. This is the second year that it is at the Payne Park Tennis Center. The tournament features both singles and doubles events and attracts a range of players from around the world who are looking to earn valuable ranking points as well as prize money.
For a community of our size to have, really world-class tennis and some of the top players in the world is pretty special. Very few venues that are going to be this intimate to be able to see tennis like this. The group and the sponsors really have visions to make this a really premier event, and they're attracting better and better players each year.
In addition to the tournament, the event organizes a charity auction that benefits the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota and DeSoto counties, as well as the USTA Foundation. Well, a snowbird living here in Englewood turns 100 today. SNN's Alex Vaughn was there.
Mary Weatherhead, her 13 children, more than 35 grandchildren, and more than 50 great-grandchildren were all in attendance at the party.
This is a great place to live, and it's because of the people.
Her sons, Michael Weatherhead and Jim Weatherhead, says she loves to watch the tennis teams in Florida. The 1946 graduate from University of Michigan is a past doubles tennis champion while on the Tangerine Woods travel tennis team.
She's a competitor. I know she's 100 now, but up until just a few years ago, she played tennis every day and was successful. She's a successful athlete and likes to compete.
While staying here on the Suncoast, she likes to attend church and be with family. She's very grateful for all her family.
I'm really happy. This is probably one of the first time I've ever seen her shed tears of joy. She's pretty, solid-minded and positive all the time, but you don't see her cry a lot.
After everyone sang happy birthday to her, the dessert was served. Reporting in Inglewood, Alex Vaughn, SNN, the Suncoast News Network.
Amazing. So many cherished memories Mary must have. Her family is grateful that the matriarch of the Weatherhead family blesses them each day with her love. Coming up on the evening edition, Brittany Griner is telling her story. I'll have that and more when we come back.